All right, welcome back to the channel. Errol Spence Jr. almost sounds thankful for his car accident and the effect that he believes the car accident will have on his career. That would not be the first time that something like that made a better man of somebody. But let's talk about what he said about the car accident and how it has affected him going into, his return to boxing. I guess he never really left, but let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back, welcome back. Now, you know I love talking about some Errol Spence Jr. and the welterweight division. The welterweight division is definitely my favorite weight class in boxing. It is absolutely positively stacked with talent, and at the top of that talent pool sits a certain young man from Dallas, Texas, or is it DeSoto? I think he might be out of DeSoto, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas, Texas. Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Now, been riding with Errol Spence Jr. for a while since he beat Kell Brook, and he was, the boogeyman in the division where nobody wanted to fight him, and he had to do what he had to do, go over there to the UK to get that belt and all that. Very, very hungry fighter, very determined fighter, right? Just was an animal when I started paying attention to Errol Spence Jr. Dude's still an animal in my book. However, admittedly, Errol Spence Jr., and this is something that Errol Spence Jr. said in the interview. I actually talked about a little bit in the last video that I did about it, but there were so many things in that video that were just, we're in the middle of what we're going through, so you have a lot of time to focus on things like that and think about the perspectives that people have in times like this. And there were a lot of things in that interview that Errol Spence Jr. did with Ray Flores on the PBC's channel that were it was eye-opening for me. Not eye-opening in that these weren't things that I hadn't experienced in my own life or things that I had not seen or heard, people be advised to do, but just to hear it come out of the young man's mouth and for somebody that really does strike me as being a very truthful person, an honest person, I believe that he meant what he said. Now, as we know, Errol Spence Jr. was in a very, very serious car accident. The car flipped over. I don't know how many times it flipped over. It was really, really scary, man. I remember, God, dog, man, because I had just visited them in training camp for the fight, for the Sean Porter fight. I actually got the chance to watch these guys. I actually got the chance to watch him spar, see how he worked. Man, very, very nice guy, man. Just, tough dude, was definitely the boss in the room, but was just this really nice dude. So to wake up, just not very long after that fight took place and hear, see what happened, man, it was just super scary, but he winds up getting out of it, right? Pretty much unscathed. So, he's still with us. It's an absolutely beautiful thing, man. And so, but I've been waiting to hear him talk in detail about the car crash, or not detail about the crash itself, but just to see what he had to say. Now, there's a lot of people out on the internet that have been understandably so, really going in on Errol Spence Jr. You got these people calling him every kind of name under the book, man, for shit that they do themselves every damn day. You know what I mean? Like, you do it every day, man. I know you guys do what you accuse him of doing. If you don't do it every day, you do it 3 or 4 days up out of the week, man. I can tell. I can tell looking at you, that's the lifestyle that you live. But a lot of people will just got on him so hard about it. And his response to that was, it was reasonable. When you do something stupid and you put yourself at risk, and you put yourself at risk in such a dramatic fashion in front of so many people, it's understandable that you get attacked. That was the best thing that I heard him say about the accident, is that he accepted responsibility in the fact that he had done something stupid. But he also mentioned something that was even more, that I appreciated from just being a maturity standpoint. But seeing as most likely one of the more easy things for him to avoid in his future is driving a Ferrari in the middle of the night that fast and losing control of it. That is something that I almost guarantee you is not going to repeat itself. The other problems that he mentioned in that video, though, are things that really could resurface and really can derail what is an absolutely fantastic boxing career to this point. Seriously, it could derail what is for Errol Spence Jr. a beeline to the Hall of Fame, because that's the type of fighter Errol Spence Jr. is, man. Errol Spence Jr. has a potential to be an all-time great fighter if he can get through this welterweight division. He already got through Sean Porter. He's already got through Kell Brook. He's staring right at a Terrence Crawford fight. This kid is even got a Canelo Alvarez fight that could be set up in front of him. But if he didn't come to the understanding that he says that, now I wasn't being preachy and stuff in videos about Errol Spence Jr. before. I'm not being preachy in them now, because man, I've made more mistakes in my life, dude, than you can shake a stick at. I've come back from some things where it's like, man, some people didn't think I was going to be able to come back from, but you have some traumatic things that happen in your life. You have your what in the world of people who are drug addicts or alcoholics, they refer to it as your rock bottom. You know what I mean? In order to recognize that you have a problem, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. If you have a relationship with a woman and it's been rocky, but you love her, but it's been a rocky back and forth situation, your rock bottom might be when you come home and she's just gone, and you realize, dude, that she ain't never coming back, and there's something you got to change about yourself, right? Rock bottom people, for people that might have a substance issue, is that they are, they're on the street, homeless, and everybody that was telling them, I told you so, they never listened to it. They never believed it until there they are, and they have no choice but to accept what's going on and build themselves up from there. So in a way, Errol Spence Jr., the way that he described the situation with the car sounded like it was a rock bottom moment for him, that he's sitting in a bed. I don't know, he might have woken up in a hospital. Last thing he remembers is leaving a party. Next thing he remembers, and this is me, just imagining what could have happened. Next thing he knows, he's waking up in a hospital, right? And with the people around him, with machines and all that, people, a lot of concern. And he's like, oh my God, people have been telling me, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that, right? That's his rock bottom moment. But the thing that he said about his career was that he had blown up to almost 190 pounds or around 190 pounds for the Mikey Garcia fight. That he had difficulty. Now, this is something that it was my understanding was the case, that he was having, that massive weight gain that he went through prior, in between the Lamont Peterson fight and the Mikey Garcia fight, that it still lingered before the Sean Porter fight, and he didn't really have the energy that he might have wanted to have, to really push through. So now he's in a situation where there's a lot, because of all three of those things, right? Not getting the knockout against Mikey Garcia, not getting a knockout against Sean Porter. After that, having a very, very serious, life-threatening accident. All of those things, man, and hitting your rock bottom says, hey, look, if I really want to get back on track to where I want to get, then I need to correct these things. And that's what he said about his boxing career, how much more hungry he is now. He quoted what Marvin Hagler had said about, it's very difficult, to get out and run, your 6 miles when you're sleeping in silk sheets, right? Errol Spence Jr., metaphorically speaking, has been sleeping in silk sheets for a while now, pretty much after the Kell Brook fight. He was duck. Keith Thurman wouldn't fight him. Sean Porter wouldn't fight him. Danny Garcia wouldn't fight him, right? Terrence Crawford, even when Terrence Crawford originally came to 147 pounds, Terrence Crawford was saying he wanted to fight Keith Thurman. Errol Spence Jr. had to battle himself all the way to the top of the weight division, but then he made it, and he was standing there pretty much. And right now, with the exception of the aged, Manny Pacquiao, he's standing all at the top of it by himself right now. So he was making, he filled 50,000 people or however many it was in Dallas Stadium. And he traveled overseas to win his title. He's on pound for pound list. All of that stuff is his silk sheets. I wouldn't be surprised if he literally had silk sheets. Personally, I don't like to sleep on silk sheets. I prefer some Egyptian cotton. I think that's a little less slidey and slippery feeling, but you get the point. Anyway, Errol Spence Jr. is saying that all of this stuff very well might have saved his career, that it could push, that he might then, based on the new focus that he has, and the fact that you got this pandemic going on and he ain't got anything else to do but work out, right? That is going to make him that much more hungry, that much more able to knock out a Danny Garcia, to knock out a Terrence Crawford, to beat a Sean Porter, to beat a Manny Pacquiao, and complete that journey that he has from 147 pounds. He even said that he ain't leaving 147 pounds until he reaches his goal of unification. And in order to do that, you're going to have to keep your weight in check. You're going to have to keep your physicality, your exercise, your strength and conditioning all the way up to the, as high as it can be, because these guys are gunning for him. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's my take on it. You let me know what you think in the comment section, man. I'm really happy to have heard all of that from Errol Spence Jr. I just wanted to do another video where I could get into some of those things in a little bit more depth. And let me know what you think. And with that, we're out. Peace.